time for Wake Up with Witcher. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
And good morning, everybody. It is 7:17 now. Sorry about that. Running a little bit late here this morning. I got the chance to take my kid to the bus stop this morning. I'll talk much more about that here in just a moment. Live look in Union County. We do have some patchy dense fog showing up. Nothing showing up at Hall of Fame and Interstate 40, basically, Summit Hill and Hall of Fame. But yesterday we made it to 91 degrees and had a record high in Chattanooga of 96. The old record set back in 1931. So not only have we been extremely dry, we're in a drought, but we're continuing to talk about incredible amounts of rain that are going to be heading our way. So how's everybody doing this morning? Did you join me yesterday morning for the broadcast? Oh, man, it was so nice to be able to broadcast from afar, i.e. at the golf course. Now, I know we have a lot to talk about here this morning and a lot to talk about throughout the day today and the next several days. It's feast or famine around East Tennessee, and that's the story here this week. We, like I mentioned, have not had a lot of rainfall over the last several days. So rainfall amounts over the last 24 hours, got some decent rain. I know Julie texted me and said that we had some decent rain showing up in Whitesburg and Hambling County and had some heavier showers up across the Tennessee-Kentucky border. But here is the satellite and radar. Nothing really showing up here at this hour. We've had some overnight showers earlier this morning. Those showers have since moved their way on out of here for the most part up near Tri-Cities. And that's about the extent of it so far here at this hour. So we should see some sunshine. It is going to help to warm us up throughout the day today. Temperatures are trending a little bit warmer this morning. We're in the upper 60s to low 70s, so it's mild and muggy. And we have some dense fog showing up across parts of the northern plateau, Knox County, up towards Anderson County. So if you travel Highway 27, 127, you'll run into some dense fog here this morning. Other than that, as I mentioned, we do have a big system on the way. And so here's the setup, okay? We have upper-level energy moving its way in from the northwest. High pressure is now shrinking its way to the southeast, being squashed against the Gulf of Mexico and down into Florida. That's going to bring a lot of heat down in Florida. But what this is going to do is allow a river of moisture to feed its way on through. So let me show you the big picture. Watch this. Here's the frontal boundary off to our west. Now here's the other side of the story. This cold front's not necessarily going to push all the way through. So A, we don't see a drop in temp or dew points associated with the front. And actually, it becomes a focus for showers that just keep feeding up from the Gulf of Mexico. So all the way through Thursday, we're going to continue to see rain and then tropical moisture moving its way in on Friday. So we do have a risk for strong to severe thunderstorms across East Tennessee again today. A level 1 risk, isolated in nature. Not everyone's going to get it. Not big severe weather threat necessarily, but a couple of storms could become strong to severe. So with that said, damaging winds would be the main threat. And then possibly hail up to about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, so below the severe criteria. So as we pick up our timeline on our future cast here around East Tennessee this morning, we have a mix of sun and clouds, and that's going to be about the extent of it here this morning. And then as we get into the afternoon, that southwesterly flow will continue to bring in that fetch of showers and thunderstorms across the area. Again, some of those could become a little bit stronger, but by the end of the day, 7 o'clock here tonight, as you can clearly see, not a huge rainmaker. And not everybody's going to pick up on the rainfall. High temperatures will be back in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. So again, another toasty summer-like day. Dew points are in the upper 60s. And so, yeah, that's going to lead to a little bit of a heat index value pushing close to the low to mid 90s. So as we head into the evening hours, if you have any ball games or outdoor plans, keep in mind we could see some showers. I think best location, Plateau and Mountain Counties. But we'll drop down into the low 80s at 6 and then low 70s by 10 o'clock here tonight. I'm going to show you a future cast overnight tonight. Why? Because that river of moisture continues to move its way on through. So if you have any sort of yard art, if you will, or rather, what's the term I'm using? What is the word I'm thinking of? Anyways, if you have any furniture outside that you typically cover due to rain, cover it tonight because we're going to have rain moving its way on through. That's going to lead to a rather patio furniture. Man, that little gerbil was going trying to find the right answer. If you have any patio furniture and you'd like to cover that up due to rain, it's going to be a good night to do that. All right, here as we head through our Wednesday, here comes that river of moisture, that fetch of rain is going to continue to feed its way on through the area. So when you add up today and tomorrow's rainfall forecast, we're really going to start to see some heavier rain. And it all depends on where this rain axis really falls. You shift that 50 miles to the east, and now the 2 to 3 inches of rain possible across the plateau over the next 2 days could shift its way into the valley, or vice versa, right? So keep in mind that we are talking about a fetch of moisture to move its way on through, but it kind of depends on where it sets up. I wanted to show you dew points for a moment because even though we have a cold front coming through this time of year, typically when we get these cold fronts, it gives us a nice little clean sweep. We bring in some nice, quiet, drier air, but that's not the case. Not only is the cold front not going to push its way on through, but we have a tropical system. That's right. Potential tropical cyclone number 9 has set up shop. Could become a next named storm, maybe later today, maybe a Category 1 hurricane by Thursday morning as it works its way towards the Big Bend of Florida and into the Tennessee Valley. And yes, that is going to bring us some rainfall around the area. So with that said, it looks like we'll be elevated today, even more so Wednesday, Thursday. Friday will likely take an uptick in rain, so I've gone up to a 70%, likely to increase that rainfall percentage. It's probably going to be 100% on Friday, to be honest with you. But Saturday looks to be on the dry side. We're going to kind of see the system split as it swings its way through. Model guidance keeps mostly dry on Saturday, with maybe a little bit of afternoon shower and thunderstorm activity as we get into our Sunday, Monday. So that's great news if you have outdoor plans here this Saturday, any events going on this weekend. Saturday is trending drier. But again, it all depends on this next tropical system, where it goes, how it all performs over the next 5 days. Really depends on what we see. But this is the general consensus. Look at all this takes us through Thursday. And so, again, I don't necessarily know that we'll have 4 to 5 inches of rainfall just through Thursday, but I think the potential is there for seeing 3 to 5 inches of rainfall at least through the end of the week and then Saturday is going to be on the dry side. Latest model guidance from the Weather Prediction Center is painting 5 to 7 inches around East Tennessee or more. And so that's the thing. It's feast or famine. So we went from an extremely dry weather pattern. Now we're heading into a very wet weather pattern that when the ground is this dry, it becomes hydrophobic. And so the initial onset of rain, it's going to take a while to get that to soak into the water, or into the ground, to produce or to limit or mitigate some of the flooding and flash flood threats. But I think depending on how this all sets up over the next couple of days, localized flooding and flash flooding could be a concern. And I think as we get into our Friday, I think Friday is going to be even more of a concern. But here's the latest from the Weather Prediction Center as well. We have a level 1 risk for some localized flooding, a level 1 and 2 risk around East Tennessee tomorrow for localized flooding, and a level 1 and 2 with a 3 down into Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina for flooding and flash flooding. So we have a pretty big risk for some localized flooding as we round out the week. So for those of you who have been doing the rain dance every day, thanks a lot. You overdid yourself this time around. Hot today, more seasonable weather is on the way.